Let me go pull them up.
Yeah, I mean, ArcTech, it looks like has a... I won't call it standard, because it definitely has some twists in it, but it looks like it's kind of a rally setup with both Surgus and Opposer.
That's interesting to me, because on the one hand, you have a rally team, and on the other, you have... What is Riplash doing?
Yeah, so Riplash is not something you normally see on rally teams, and quite frankly, the rest of the 4 beasties are stuff I would totally expect.
Demolipede is really weird, but I can see it working either way. ArcTech is going to be serving first here. Thump coming out doing a surprising damage until I remember that it has launcher.
Yep.
Walking up? Oh, I guess for Noisy.
Yep. Noisy gonna draw the attack, and the thing is, Noisy was already noisy before Dread happened, so it kept the Noisy. But now that Dread is up, Noisy can't be reapplied. So we're gonna see potentially some big damage here. Looks like the Provoke's gonna go out into Skuldra.
Yeah, the Provoke coming out onto Skuldra, preventing the block. We could see a point as early as turn 3.
And that is the way ArcTech likes to play. Aggressive, get the points, do the damage, get the win.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
That. All right, a quick first point here from ArcTech. But so the good news, at the very least, from WackyWorms' perspective, is both the other beasties are sweaty, already starting to get a little low stamina, and both the beasties currently on the field for WackyWorms are relatively healthy, so I don't think this is like a dire situation yet.
Not at all, not at all. Really, there's another line with Demolipede here that I think WackyWorms is going to be taking. Yeah, the Provoke here doesn't even help much, because now the forward pass comes out. Riplash has a real chance of causing freaking havoc and misery on this field. Well, for one person's absolutely giddy for sure.
Yeah, so that Demolipede being able to draw the attack, definitely a big deal. But it does mean, regardless of what happens, we actually see a Sidewinder.
Oh, the wrong call out though is insane. I see why ArcTech did that. I see what they were going for though.
Yeah, they might have expected the Gremlin to just move backwards, but instead we actually just saw a switch out. And all of it,
Very interesting. Very, very ballsy play, I will say. And very nice to see.
Oh, and the Dread's gonna drain this Demolipede, and that's gonna be a free ball. That's a big deal. All of a sudden...
That's big.
Yeah, ArcTech can't attack this turn. Has to just double rally and free ball. And the free ball, obviously forces a move here, but WackyWorms is more than happy to just move and take a free ball. And all of a sudden, we're going to get a double support move, plus a boom. And, ArcTech, definitely... I don't know. It's a little interesting because...
This game's swinging really quickly.
Yeah.
But it does look like Noizard will at least get a single turn on this field, which, when talking about Noizard, that's really all it needs. They are being brutal with this action economy, though. At the very least, Surgus on this field. Oh, no shield. Never mind. This is really bad.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Is like this Surgus is definitely an offensive Surgus purely. There's no shield. There's no torch pass. None of that junk. Just pure damage. But the upside is look at that.
That's Skuldra. Skuldra's dead next turn, but it doesn't almost matter.
Yeah, because the
Nettle can't come out. The Nettle can't come out. This is another weighted 50-50. Just because if the Surgus stays on the field right now, then it's really good to hit into Noizard. Just kind of having to do the math on what you'd rather hit and how. If you get this turn right, you get to stay in the game. If you don't, you lose almost immediately with a very hard state of the game comeback to try and do it.
Wow,
Boom, coming out.
We see Dread come out to guarantee that one of them is going to get wiped. That was a great way to turn that 50-50 into a guarantee. I didn't even think of that. Obviously, it wipes on Skuldra, but it doesn't matter if it forces a free ball.
That is going to be brutal now. Skuldra at least on 8, but that's the only, literally only saving grace.
Wow. Wow, I cannot believe the mastery that TheWackyWorms is displaying here. Like,
Yeah.
obviously ArcTech taking a quick point, but this is a 3-point game. This is not like a 2-point batch game. Like, if your entire pool of beasties on the bench gets wiped or drained, then like it doesn't matter. TheWackyWorms can just take 3 points in a row. Oh, actually sidestepping. Interesting choice. I'm wondering what that changes. I guess this makes it so... Oh, because Tool's the serve, so Circus can actually come out here.
Oh, this is true. Circus does come out. This does give ArcTech some much needed time to breathe, and again, we see the sort of mastery these two players have. This has gone from being a really miserable sort of field for ArcTech to being slightly workable. They can't walk up to take this contest. I don't know how to take this cut shot. I don't know how much I agree with it. But this is ArcTech we're talking about right now.
Yep.
So
definitely...
there's a lot that he could be doing right now. Really, I just think he wants the turn advantage of switching in. Yeah, actually, no, he's stalling for multiple PCs to come back despite not having the same chip damage on Dread. That's what I think is happening. The contest could come out as well. That would be the challenge, rather. That would be very painful for Garud if it wasn't specifically built to survive challenge or take spirit moves at all. But 65, it's still getting half hit at its current stamina right now and some change. Juggle coming out to receive the challenge, though. This is not very good. The Raw Fury would have been a lot better to hit.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Circus and...
They have to make a play here. The Demolipede might be just the thing that ArcTech needs right as it comes up, thanks to stalling on that Dread turn, as we were talking about.
Yeah. Again, I thought ArcTech was in a lot of trouble when getting drained and wiped on multiple beasties, but was able to buy enough time so that 2 of the beasties came back, and now we're full stamina. And again, ArcTech only needs 1 more point.
This is a sort of the knowledge, the intricate knowledge of game mechanics here. Very masterful use of a thing that I don't think most players even know about. That Dread will, that if you score a point, your wiped beasties will get a turn of recovery, all wiped beasties on the board, without any effects actually happening. I can't recall the last time someone pointed that out in a game. That's huge.
Yeah, that is a great point.
Challenge could be the move coming out here. Actually, Challenge can come out here. It does a lot. I think it was the game here, because Gremlin can't stop this. The block won't stop it.
Yeah, block isn't enough. I don't think anything can switch in. That might be it.
Against a player like TheWackyWorms, such a quick and brutal set. Oh my god.
Yep, ArcTech is out for blood, I'm telling you. After not winning the last Heat Wave, definitely back with a vengeance, and we saw it there. And ArcTech served last game, I'm pretty sure. Still able to take that, and wow. I mean, I'm trying to think from TheWackyWorms' perspective, like, I think the big difference is that cut shot from Circus forcing, the split. And so Grumbler can't just sit in the back. It's kind of a big deal. And there's no skull copy from TheWackyWorms' team. So we do see the Dread Mist come out here, which was very effective the first game. I do think the Dread Mist is pretty important for TheWackyWorms' game plan. But man, Skuldra taking so much damage at the very start here.
Gosh, this
really
is also
tough.
not good. This is very familiar, despite being the one to serve. This is a very familiar situation where Riplash just kind of just threatening everything. This man's doing the most. He's setting up all the really big problem pieces to be knocked out later. What do you switch into this? You don't, right? Skuldra kind of just has to go down. I
was thinking you could maybe block and barely not die to Dread Tech, but that's only if my math was correct, and it might not have been. It's quick math. But yeah.
I can do math. I can do math real quick. Watch.
Yeah,
What's 6 times 10? 3.
there you go.
I said I could do it quick.
Not accurately, but quick.
And quick, you understand.
Yeah, it's
Speed
all
is
about
important in
quick
this
math.
game. It's all
Close
about
enough.
quickness. You take 30 seconds to make a turn, I take 5.
There you
Just
go.
because my turn ends up not working doesn't mean it's not valid. I really need to slow down the pace of my turns. I
Yeah,
can.
so-
Oh, the Cyclone could come out too.
Yeah, it's
The
actually...
Provoke coming out onto the arguably wrong beastie here, but the Doze won't be able to come out. That's surely
Yeah.
going to hurt ArcTech.
I think that's the plan.
This Gremlin not being on the field is gonna sting really bad.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like Gremlin in this matchup is actually not the most important beastie here. Really,
the most important beasties would be-
Whiplash?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the most important thing on TheWackyWorms' team, I think it is the Gremlin. As far as the most important thing on the board right now, this Whiplash. This shark, this pitbull named Princess is doing the most. And there's nothing that Wacky seems to be able to do about it right now. There's a couple things to be thinking about. Mostly that Demolepede's in danger no matter how you put it. So there's a couple ways to stop this turn.
Yeah.
And
we're
he
gonna actually
calls it
see
out
Eruption
correctly.
here.
He calls it out correctly. He can get the Doze off with Demolipede.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean,
Whiplash goes down, but who gives a shit?
yeah, able to get this attack because of the block and get your stamina back. So, like, just to stress, stamina on ArcTech's beasties is so important because we saw last game how quickly things can fall apart if all of a sudden you're getting drained to Dread or Quake or whatever it is. But basically be able to get a full health bar back for your other beastie, you know, means it can just stick around longer. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't do anything now. It still has Watchtower and, you know, it can still volley. So we're going to have to see what switches in here. Looks like it's going to be the opposer, which kind of makes sense since there's already beasties in the front to block a cut shot.
This is not a very good spot. Really, I've never seen someone put Wacky Worm on the back foot like this before. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that.
Yep. And
ArcTech's like surgical with it.
Yeah.
The Jekyll Mr. Doze coming out.
Oh,
Free ball hitting the
yeah.
Millipede.
Yeah, that was an interesting play there, but I kind of like it, to be honest.
I kind of like it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not terribly offensive. The only problem would be that Challenge hits a lot of your beasties, and Raw Fury can target your Gremlin. You're really not safe. It is just up to the opposer on what they want to do to you.
I think you gotta switch to
And it looks like they're
Gremlin,
going
though.
to hit the challenge. Yeah. Scalds are coming out.
Yeah, because Gremlin, if it gets hit by Raw Fury, it's still not gonna go down. And Challenge is just such a high damage move that you gotta kind of assume that they're gonna use it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a bigly stark contrast to the game we saw earlier.
Yeah.
And now the tool coming out for Demolipede again. I'm not so certain that Demolipede's allowed to stay any longer. But
yeah, but the
Scalger
problem
can't
is...
either notice this.
Yeah, but I think Challenge
The
just
challenge
one-shots everything
does
now.
just one-shot everything right now.
Yeah.
This is true. The opposer's been boosted up too much. There's nothing they can do to stop this. The best thing to do is to just take Scaldra and take it out back.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to let Scaldra just take the KO. Yep. That's exactly
poor
what we see.
Scaldra. The difference maker every time it's on the field, and unfortunately, it's just not allowed to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The difference between ArcTech's team and a lot of other teams that I often see, especially with spirit attackers like this, is I usually see some way to boost besides just opposer using challenge. Like something like Faith or Cheer or something like that, right? But no, I mean, ArcTech's supports are just there to try to survive. And like just try to rely on just raw damage, and it's really working out in this matchup. Yeah, but now the question is, this This Demolipede definitely has to switch out. There's not really any other way.
There is options that ArcTech has though, and this was one of them. Letting Demolipede go down, setting up. Oh no, wait, what? No, yeah, okay. Hold on, no, I'm just blind. Sorry. No, switch out Demolipede, set Noizard into the field. Either way, it could have happened, really.
Yeah.
Surgus is allowed onto the field. The rally setter on top. There's nothing they can do to stop the rally.
Yeah, this might be
The
checkmate.
only thing they could do. Yeah, the tool is going to hit Noizard, regardless of if it's clamored or not. And freeballing into Surgus is only going to make things worse by getting rallied and provoked.
Yeah, and
This is a no-win situation.
Like, this is the downside of running Tool. Tool obviously does more damage than something like Numbshot, but the problem is in these situations, you want Numbshot, because if you hit the Surgus here, it can't both rally and use Cut Shot. In fact, they can't. They actually free ball. They know that. They free ball.
This is still game. Because Cut Shot just kills everything.
Does
all the theory of the world.
Both? Oh, it does.
All the theory in the world can't save you from the menace that is ArcTech.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess Wacky Worms Beasties were just a little too low, and it was just barely enough. 61, and then ArcTech wins the second game and the match.